Hey everybody, how's it going? I am Sethum, and in this video I am going to be showing you how to make kibbles. Now this is going to be a very generic video on kibbles, as there are a ton of kibbles to make. So if you folks enjoy this video, please do not forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new for more similar content from myself, and if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also remember to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new content. And for those interested in hanging out with me, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this can be found down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment. So with that out of the way, let's get into the topic of making kibbles. Kibbles are used for taming creatures, and a specific kibble can be used to tame a specific creature only. So for example, to tame a Rex, you can only use the Pluminoscorpius kibble, which is crafted out of Pluminoscorpius eggs, and to get the eggs you need a male and multiple females within close proximity so that they lay eggs for you. If you attempt to use any other form of kibble for taming a Rex, it can actually take longer than if you were to use normal meat. So that is very important to note here. That is why you want to make kibble and use the right kibble on the right dino. So for that reason, of course, you will want to set up a kibble farm, and that means having a male with multiple females of specific dinosaurs within close proximity of each other, so that they lay eggs. You can also use an oviraptor in their proximity to increase the production of eggs. Eggs are a main ingredient in the making of kibbles. You will also need vegetables such as the citronelle, savaroot, longgrass, and so on, as well as major or meho berries, depending on how you prefer to call them. Well, you can obtain the meho berries with the use of a herbivore that farms berries. You can only obtain the vegetables by using and creating a farm specifically designed to grow these vegetables. I recommend using the large crop plots due to the productivity that these offer in terms of vegetables. It is also important to know that once you have picked the fruit out of your crop plots of the vegetables, such as the savaroot, rock carrot, and so on, they do have a very small spoil timer, so you will need to use them up quickly or place them in a preserving bin to extend the spoil timer. Also, you can place them in a refrigerator to furthermore extend the spoil timers. Also, you will need some fiber to be able to craft the kibbles. Whilst the kibbles do have a similar recipe in terms of crafting, they are unique to each kibble, and therefore they will require specific ingredients. Also, you will need either a form of cooked meat or jerky, depending on the kibble. Obviously, the recipes are very varied. So to help you folks out, I will post a link to a wiki down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment, where you can see all the kibbles in the game and see what is required to craft specific kibbles by clicking on the kibble that you want to craft. As you can see, I am going to be using the industrial cooker as well as a cooking pot. So you can craft kibbles in a cooking pot if you do not have an industrial cooker. So the generic recipe for crafting a kibble will look something like this. You will need a specific egg, you will need fiber, you will either need meat or cooked meat or some form of jerky, and you will need an amount of vegetables, whether it is citronelle, savaroot, rock carrot, or longgrass, and you will also need major berries or meho berries in order to craft a kibble. And of course, you will also need water, which is why you will craft them either in a cooking pot or in an industrial cooker, which has access to water. Obviously, for some more rarer kibbles, the recipe will be somewhat different and require several different ingredients. However, the difference between the cooking pot and the industrial cooker is that with the cooking pot, as you are seeing here, you will have to top up the water manually via the use of a water skin or a water jar or a canteen. Once the canteen or the recipient in which you have placed the water in the pot has emptied, you will need to replenish it with water and place it back into the cooking pot. Whereas with the industrial cooker, because it is connected to a fresh water supply, you will not need to do that. And as you can see, I have already started to craft some kibbles here. As I said before earlier in this video, each kibble has its own recipe, and I will leave a link down below to the wiki that I use for crafting kibbles in the game. In order to get the eggs for the kibbles, of course, you will need to set up a farm, which is why you will want to tame small level dinos to put in your farm. The more you have, the more eggs you'll get, the easier you will find to craft kibbles, as you will have a plentiful supply of eggs. Kibbles, as I said before, are used to tame dinos, and they do this by reducing the amount of time you have to wait for taming, as they will supply the dino with more food, and you will also gain a better taming effectiveness, which of course will affect the overall statistics of the dino that you are trying to tame once it has tamed. And so because of this, you will only want to use kibbles on high level dinos so that you get those bonus levels, which will affect the overall statistics of the creature you are trying to tame once it has finished taming. Kibbles are preferred, as I said, for high level dinos. If you are going to tame a small level dino, then I recommend using a lesser form of taming method, such as meat or spoiled meat or whatever else that creature prefers, and you can research this by using the wiki that I will have linked down below. That is not just for the kibbles, it does also show you what you need to tame specific creatures, as well as generic times for the taming of specific creatures depending on what you are after. Once you have finished crafting the kibbles, as always, do make sure that you put the ingredients that you used, which have a spoil timer, back into a refrigerator so that you have them for a longer time or for a later time. So that would be, of course, the jerky or the cooked meat, the majo berries or mayho berries, which will help you out later on when you want to make some more kibbles or craft some other things. And also obviously place the vegetables in a refrigerator or in a preserving bin to extend the spoil timer that they have. And so this way you can use them at a later time to craft some more kibbles or craft some other things depending on what you will want to use them for. The kibbles that you have crafted can also be used as a source of food for dinos, and once they have been tamed, they will be able to eat just about any kibble, although I personally recommend using meat or berries depending on what the dino eats. Also, the kibbles can be used as a good source of food for the Daedon if you plan on using your Daedon as a healer, as it replenishes more food than meat would. Obviously, the better the kibble, the more food it will replenish, and this is a strategy that I advise using for those that intend to use a Daedon as a healer in the boss battles. Obviously, of course, certain kibbles do take a longer time to obtain and craft. So for example, Quetzal egg kibble is a hard thing to come by. Even if you do have Quetzals, you will know that it does take a long time to get the eggs and then the materials to craft the Quetzal egg kibbles, as it does require a lot of materials. So of course you do not want to go around wasting a very expensive kibble that you spent a long time trying to obtain on a creature that could have easily been fed, say for example, raw meat or raw prime meat or any other form of food. So do be careful what you use your kibbles on, as some of them, as I said before, can be quite difficult to obtain. And finally, to prolong the spoil timer on the kibbles that you have crafted to have them for a longer time, I recommend that you place what you don't use in either a preserving bin or in a refrigerator, which will expand the life of that kibble for a ridiculous amount of time. Therefore, you will have it for a later time when you may need it. That is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found the information in this video useful. If you have, please do not forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also remember to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new content. For those interested in hanging out with me, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this can be found down below in the video's description as well as in a pinned comment. Until next time, stay safe, folks.